Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to Commerce online classes. So here we are going to start with the new chapter, that is about the government budget and the economy. So by the name itself we came to know what is budget. In generally budget means finance. So budget is a finance, you know that in general sense, money, everything, whatever the money you have, you are saying what is your budget to purchase that commodity, like that you are saying. So budget is nothing but it is a financial statement of a government. So in particular manner, what is budget in economics means it is a annual financial statement. What is budget? Why it is essential for the economy? What are the components of budget we are going to study in this chapter. So let us see what is the meaning of budget. So here is a budget, government budget and the economy. Chapter 5th chapter is government budget and the economy. So because while studying economics, it is necessary to know about the budget components. Otherwise it is unable to understand about our economy and expenditure and consumption in our economy. Last class I said about the consumption function and investment function. That consumption and investment functions are nothing but it is because of the budget, income. Income is nothing but budget. Thus, we should see the meaning of budget. Here budget, meaning and its components we are going to study in the beginning. So, annual financial statement is called as budget. Annual financial statement of the government is called as budget. What is budget means? It is the yearly financial statement of the government. Means what is the expenditure and what is the receipts of the government. Revenue, receipts, everything we are going to discuss here. So here mainly we focus on the concepts, that is financial year. What is financial year? Financial year means one economic year, money year, financial year. It starts from 1st April to 31st March. Clearing, you know that bank clearings, end of the working day, everything is 31st March. So 1st April to 31st March of the next year is said to be the financial year of the government. So here what is the meaning of budget? Budget is the annual financial statement of the government regarding the revenue and expenditure of the government. Thus financial year starts from 1st April to 31st March every year. There is no any changes. Every year it is fixed 1st April to 31st March. What are the types of this government budget? There are two types in the government budget. First one is revenue account or revenue budget. Second one is capital account or capital budget. This revenue budget and capital budget. So here revenue account includes revenue and expenditure of the government. So how the government is going to earn the revenue and what are its expenditures, that we are going to see. Expenditure means spending, investment of the government. Revenue means income received by the government through the different investment or production, consumption or economic activities. So revenue account is nothing but it is the record of revenue and expenditure of the country during a financial year. It is also called as revenue budget of a economy or country. Second one is capital account. Capital account is nothing but it consists of assets and liabilities of the government. Assets and liabilities of the government. It is also known as capital budget. Capital account is also known as capital budget of the government. It consists of assets and liabilities of the government. Thus, what is budget now? Budget is the annual financial statement of the country So it includes revenue and expenditure of a particular year. So budget is nothing but it is a financial statement. So financial year runs from 1st April to 31st March. There are two types of budget. One is revenue budget and other one is capital budget. So revenue budget consists revenue and expenditure of the government. Capital budget consists assets and liabilities of the government budget. Let us see what are the objectives of this budget. There should be some aims or objectives to prepare the budget. Always budgets preparing on the basis of seeing the previous year what are the revenue and expenditure and what are the future expectations. On the basis of past and future expectations we are going to prepare the budget. What are its objectives? There are mainly three objectives or also called functions of budget. First main aim of the budget is allocation function. Second one is redistribution function. Third one is stabilization function. What are these? Why government budget is needed? Especially government budget is prepared for with the intention of increasing the welfare or well-being of the society or people. So without the budget it is unable to think about our economy. Thus what are the main objective means? Main aim is to allocating the resources. Allocative function means allocating the resources. So allocation of resources in different categories. For example, allocating the resource means I can say resources are there in the economy, we do not know how to utilize that. So utilizing that resource in the particular manner by using the government money. So allocating resources in the sense building of government hospitals, building of government schools or roads, railways or like that any public property is going to build, that is said to be the allocation function of the government. Allocating the resources, what I said, inventories, unsold goods, like that I said. So allocating the resources without wasting, that is said to be the allocation function of the government. So budget is used for allocating the resource and functioning of that particular resource in the economy. Main aim is increasing the welfare of the people by using the public goods. Second main function of the government budget is to redistribute the income and wealth. Redistribution function means, yeah, we already know that resources are not fully concentrated on this all, it is concentrated in few hands. So haves and have nots, we know that wealth is concentrated with the few hands, they are known as haves. Somewhere not at all even having the single means a day. So redistribution of resources means distributing the resources in the proper way. For that budget is incurred for redistribution of resources through the rent, wages, interest and profits, factor payments. By using the factors of production in the process of production, land, labor, capital and organization in the proper manner with the, they are going to pay the factor payments, that is wages, interest and even the profit is going to earn and wages are paid. From that they are going to earn the money and it is indirectly helpful to create the government budget. Third main aim of government budget is stabilization function, stabilizing the economy. So economy is not in the proper manner, during that time government budget is very essential to balance the economy. To balancing economy is nothing but revenue should be equal to the expenditure. If any deficit budget occurs, revenue is less than the expenditure, expenditure is increases, revenue is less, means it is not possible to continue the economic activities, it is loss for the economy or country. To increasing that with the balanced budget, that is said to be the stabilization function. Maintaining stability in the economy with the help of the government budget. Thus budget is essential to stabilize the economy and increasing the welfare of the people and economy or society as a whole. So next we should see some meanings of some terms here, because some terms are very important while studying the government budget. What are public goods? What are private goods? What is the meaning of free riders? Very important, that we should see. So now let us see public goods and private goods. Sometimes they may ask the difference between public goods and private goods. As you know that public goods and private goods means public goods are those goods which is collectively consumed by the people without paying for that. Is this. So, public goods are nothing but goods which is collectively consumed by the people without paying for that, freely they are going to use that. Roads, national parks like that, roads, defense, everything is considered as public goods, which is meant for the public. They can use and they can enjoy without paying any kind of direct payment. Next is private goods. So, private goods means you already know that some durable consumer goods or consumer goods, your food, cloth or cars, bungalows or any durables you are going to purchase, new items, all are relating to your own interest according to your money, whatever you are going to purchase, that is private goods. Private goods are not freely provided by the government, it is meant for the private consumption, that is private consumer, according to their will and wish they can go and purchase, there is no any compulsory to purchase the private goods. Public goods also where there is no any compulsory, they can use, they can enjoy the goods. So, next concept is free riders. Who are called free riders? Free riders are those who are non-paying users of public goods. Non-paying users of public goods. Non-paying users of public goods means for using the public goods there is no any payment made for that. Freely they are going to enjoying that resources. For example, public roads, schools, hospitals, libraries or national even parks, buildings, everything government owned these assets they are going to enjoy, they are called free riders. There is no any tax or no money paid for that. If the government schools gives the education, that is utterly free, no single rupee you are going to pay, because government is look after that, that is said to be those students they are going to study in that school, they are the free riders. Those who are getting the benefits from the public goods, they are called as non-paying users of public goods. They are also called as free riders. Free riders are those, they are the non-paying users of public goods, means not at all paying money for using the public goods. Government schools, hospitals or government under any administrative officers or any kind of services not at all paid, which we are not going to pay, that is called as free riders. Those who are using the public goods, they are not at all paying for that, they are called as non-paying users of public goods, they are the free riders. Next question arises with us, why public goods must be provided by the government? Is this necessary to provide the public goods by the government? As developing country like India, it is needed for the social welfare purpose and economic welfare purpose. Both social and economic welfare depends on the public goods. If the public goods increases, then the people can enjoy the resources, because most of the middle class people are there, where redistribution is needed because wealth is not distributed properly, unequal distribution of income and wealth is there, wealth is concentrated with the few hands of the people, thus it is necessary to equally distribute the income and wealth through the public goods. Thus, for the purpose of social welfare and economic welfare purpose, public goods must be provided by the government. So, next we should see what are the differences between public provision and public production. By the name you can say both are same or equal, but they are unique. So, public provision is different, public production is different. Public provision is nothing but facilities financed by the government through the budget. Facilities, whatever the facilities provided by the government, that facilities are financed by the money for that facilities are financed by the government through the government budget. While announcing the budget, for education this much crores, for production this much crores, for agriculture this much crores, you are going to see in the news channels and newspapers. So, that is a facilities financed through the budget by the government is public provision. It is a provision to take a decision. So, there is no direct payment. There is no any direct payment. For example, free education by the government. You are not at all going to pay the money directly to the school. No single rupee they are going to take till the whatever going to you are get the education in the government schools or government hospitals. So no direct payment. Directly you are not paying the money. Indirect payment it may be there. So no direct payment in the public provision. What is public production? Goods produced directly by the government. Goods produced directly by the government. So direct payment is there. Railway directly financed and directly provided by the government. Thus direct payment is there. Example, water supply, electricity, they were going to take the direct bill from the people. Services provided by the government directly. These are said to be the difference between public provision and public production. Water supply, electricity are the best example for the public production. So next we are going to discuss about the chart of government budget. Thank you.